Hello everybody, so the long awaited video is here. First of all, I want to apologize about the noise in the background. So we don't have lights, our country Nigeria, thanks to Nigeria. So I had to put on the gen and it's really noisy, but no procrastination. We've said that already, no procrastination. So that's why there's noise in the background. So this video is about how I encountered God, my journey as a Christian so far, the challenges I face. So I have a book here though. I have a book where I've written down stuff so I don't forget or skip important parts of what the Lord has really put in my heart to share out there. And I really pray that this video touches whosoever the Lord wants this video to touch. So first of all, we put this video into the hands of the Lord. Father, come do your work, come into our presence as I have obeyed your word. Come and do what no man can do, in Jesus' name, amen. Okay, I'll try my best not to make this video long. So my whole Christian journey started after secondary school. I finished secondary school in the year 2016. I attended Federal Government College, Odubolu. Hello. Fellow students are always very, very proud of where they come from, and I'm super proud to be one of the students of Federal Government College, Odubolu. So after school, I wrote JAM and I was waiting for admission. I think at the time I had applied to FUNAB, and having passed JAM, having passed the cutoff mark, I didn't gain admission. So that was how my journey started. I was at home, I was sad, I was depressed. My mates were entering school. I was seeing people's matric pictures. I was not jealous, not like I was jealous, but I was just like, God, when is my turn? Like, when am I going to be celebrated too? So that was how. First year, I stayed at home. Second year, I stayed at home. Third year, I also stayed at home. And it was during the second year I really just said I needed God, because something happened the second year. I missed my examination, my JAM examination, having gone for JAM lessons, having registered for JAM. I had my time already and everything, and a lot of factors just happened and I missed my JAM for that year. JAM was saying, you can re-register, you can do this. I re-registered, and there was no other JAM CBT center in Lagos, so the only available CBT center at the time was in Delta State. So I had to travel down to Delta State to write the exam, only to get there I could not still write the exam. So that was how that year went. I was sad. I was like, God, what is happening? Do you hate me? Do you do this? Then I wasn't really serious with my Christian life, but I just know that I come from a Christian family now. I'm supposed to pray and all of those things. So that was how I was just depressed. My mom would too be there. Your mates are in school. Once I make one mistake like this, your mates are in school. You are this, you're that. So everything was I was just overwhelmed, and it was a very sad experience. I would cry myself to sleep. I would just be sad until this very day. I was like, I'm tired of all of this shit. So this very day, I just stood up, went to the kitchen in the store. My mom keeps this, like, that's where we keep all these like foodstuffs, detergents and all of those things. I went to the store. I just took one sachet of IPO. I kept it in my bag, and I dressed up, and I was like, I told my mom I was going out. She was like, to where? I said I was going to church, and sincerely I was going to church. I had already made up my mind that I was going to commit suicide. It's very funny right now, because when I think about those things, I'm like, just imagine I'd ended my life, like I'd ended my life then. All of these good things I'm experiencing from God right now would be nowhere. But I really thank God for being God. So there's this church at our bus stop. I went there. Thank God the church was opened. I entered the church, nobody was there. I just went straight to the altar. I knelt down, I cried to God. And this was in 2018. Yeah, this was in 2018. So I cried to God. I said, God, I know you are there. I hear testimonies of people. If you're truly God, come true for me, this and this, that and that. I was just really pouring out my heart. I was just really letting God know that if he didn't come to my aid, it all ends here. So that was how I told God that when I sleep and wake up and he does not give me a sign that he is with me, I was going to drink the hypo and hopefully die. So that was how I slept off on the altar. And the next thing, I think that was I was on that altar for 30 to 40 minutes, and a hand came to wake me up. It was a lady. So she was like, what am I doing here, this and this. So she saw me. All my face was filled with tears. I was literally crying, and she was like, I should come. So we talked. I told her what was wrong with me, and she was like, Jesus loves you. So that was how she followed me back home, told my parents, and my mom was really sad. It's not like it was just I was just tired of everything, because it was not like I was not passing jam. Okay, after the year I missed my jam. The next year I wrote jam, I passed. I didn't still gain admission. It was just tiring. I'm like, and I will hear of people that are getting below cut-off marks having admission. I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong with me? So that was how she told me to be attending this Christian program every day. I was not really into it, but I just said, okay, God has given me a sign, let me give it a trial. And that's how I started going to the program until crossover nights. We're crossing over from 2018 to 2019. I can never forget that day. I still have the message that our pastor at the time, my parents attend Redeemed Church here. So our pastor at the time preached. I still have the message. Pastor Simon Umebu. All thanks to that man. So Pastor Simon preached the message on this very crossover service, and that was when I just said, okay, God, if you give me this admission, I would serve you forever. That was when I made the commitment and said, okay, I was going to go God's way. Having making that commitment, I said, after the service, I listened to the sermon over and over again. Sometimes I'll just be on my own. I'll be listening to the sermon. I started downloading some Christian music like Victoria Renze and all of that. But still yet, I was still doing some little sins, I was not 100% ready. I was still sinning. Anything in this life, just name it, I've been there. I'm not proud of it though, but the Lord has forgiven me. Just name it, anything. Is it stealing? I've never been a money thief per se. I'm not somebody that steals money, because I've always had this mindset that okay, you have to do something to get money. But in school, secondary school days, where are my fellow students? Stealing of people's water was actually norms. Other people would go fetch water, we would just sit back and be waiting for them to fetch water and come. And when they are sleeping, we'll go and steal their water. So that's like the only thing I've done that's stealing. Yeah, I've not like robbed a bank, like the money heist kind of robbing a bank, but either way. So that was how I was just praying. I was just, having faith that yes, God will do something, God will send someone, God will just. So that was how my friend, a friend of mine, Ahmed, a very nice friend of mine, Ahmed came to the house. At this time, Ahmed was already doing his A-levels. In 2018, Ahmed also told me about the A-levels, which I told my dad, and he like waved the idea. I was like, no, write jam and enter school. So Ahmed came again in 2019. I was like, he had gained admission. I'm like, are you serious? Oh, congratulations, this and this, that and that. I went to God in prayer. I was like, God, see, Ahmed has gotten admission, this and this, that. God, do it for me too. So we were talking randomly in the sitting room, and my family, and I mentioned the idea of A-level to my dad, that Ahmed that did A-levels in 2018, he's already in 200 level now, that me too, I want to do A-levels. So my dad wasn't really considering the whole idea, but before you know it, he was like, okay, fine, how do we go about these A-level programs and everything? And that was how I started my A-levels in Ilorin, Kwara State. That was what brought me down to Ilorin. I love Ilorin, forget. Ilorin has his own too, but Ilorin is really peaceful. It's a quiet place to be. So that's how I came to Ilorin for my A-levels, and I was happy. I was like, God, is this how you answer prayers? I was not in school yet. I was just doing my A-levels, but I was grateful. I was grateful to God that, okay, I could go back to the whole education system thing, and I could like start reading again, going to classes after 3 years of staying at home. Like, I was fed up of staying at home, wake up, go back to sleep, take my younger ones to school, wash plates. So that was how I came to Ilorin. And coming to Ilorin, I didn't forget my promise to God. I didn't forget my promise to God, and that was how I started my A-levels. So at this time, I didn't have a church I was going to. I tried several churches, but my mind wasn't just accepting anyone the way I really, wanted to, feel. So that was how I just kept on living my regular life. I was not even praying every day. I would just once in a while, oh God, remember, I have to pass my A-level exams to be able to enter school. At this time, I was still living in sin. Yeah, I was still living in some certain kind of sin that was really making God angry, because I could feel it that sometimes when I'm doing some certain things, a spirit in me will just be like, no, this is not right. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be here. You don't belong here. You don't fit into this circle. I just kept having that feeling of I was not doing the right thing, until this very day, this Sunday, in my hostel. This group of girls, my friends, Debbie came and was like, she was going to church. I'm like, which church are you people going to? She said Coza, and I'm like, which church is Coza? No, I did not hear Coza before. So she was like, she was going to Coza, and I was like, I've been at home for like weeks. This was like, let's say, 5th week being in Ilorin, or the 6th week being in Ilorin, and I'd not been to, like, I was not going to any church per se, and I was not happy about it. So I just dressed up and was like, oh, okay, let's go to church together. And that was how I and a few other people went to church. So I'm going to show you guys how I looked like my first day in Koza. Fine girl like me, this was what I looked like. So this was the 11th of November 2019, that was when I started going to coza, and that was the very day the Lord began his good works in my life. So first day going to coza, I went to the church, and I'm like, what a service. Like I just felt that yes, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I really liked the service. The word preached that day really touched me, and I said, okay. I realized that I made a promise to God, and I have to keep to that promise if I really want to benefit from the goodness of God. And I realized I was backsliding already, that I was not keeping to my promise. Yes, I said I was going to serve God better if he gives me this admission, which I wasn't doing. I was still on and off I was still on and off. But after that Sunday, the next Sunday, my friends that took me to church were not going to church. I didn't even wait for anybody. I just dressed up and carried myself to church, and that was how I became a coza member. And since then, I was not really regular, but I was going to church, I was attending services, I would pray, and I could really see God's work in my life. And that was how my coza journey began. So that was how my coza journey began. But during this time, I was not really stable. I was still on and off. I was still living in sin. Like, just name it. Just name any sin you know. I've been there. I've not killed anybody. Okay, I've not killed anybody. That's the only sin God did not allow me commit. So I was just there. But I was going to church. I was hearing the word. I tried to obey as much as possible, and I was just there. I would come to service, I would declare the words, if there's a program, I will do my best to attend as long as I'm able to come to church. So that was how we wrote our GPEP exams, and I passed GPEP exams. I was always praying, God, I must pass this exam, my GPEP exam, I must pass it. I shall pray. I prayed that time. I fasted, I did everything possible. So that was how my GPEP results came out, and I passed. It was time for admission. I first processed Uniloring. I didn't gain admission. I was like, God, has it started again? Like, why this is the same Uniloring that people write A levels and gain admission. That why is my own different? So at the time, I had gone to Kwaso, and I don't like the way the environment was. I wanted to stay in a very fine environment. But I had no choice. I had to process Kwaso, and that was how I gained admission. And I was like, okay, God, I was going to serve you. I was going to be serious with my Christian life. But the devil has a way of just coming to make you derail. Yeah, I derailed so many times. Times, like, name it. But I kept on praying. I even got a daily manna ODM that I was using at the time. I still prayed to God, but I was not fully committed. Yeah, I was not fully committed. A lot of things happened that we will subsequently talk about, once in a while. I can't give people the full gist here. If I give people the full gist, there's nothing to talk about again. So subsequently, I'll be posting videos on how I overcome certain challenges, as a Christian and a church girl. Alright, so the year 2022. So the year 2022 came, and God just really told me that it's either I get serious and take responsibility of my life, or I keep joking around and keep postponing all of these good things that I'm supposed to have been enjoying. But before we come into 2022, let's go back to 2021. So in the year 2021, at around September, October, I was on a 6-month break because I was to go do my IT. I decided to do my IT in Ilorin, and this was because I really just wanted to be alone. I really just wanted to realize myself. I really just wanted to just know where I even just belong. So I just needed that space. I needed that like that space, just me and God. So I decided to stay back in Ilorin to do my IT. I got a place. I got a place where I was staying alone at the time, and I took my Christian life serious. So coza actually has this service they do every morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Yes, so if you want to join, you're invited. Like, it's been an awesome experience, doing all of these things, waking up 6, go to church, come back 7, like start my day. At the time my workplace resumes 9, so I still have time to like prepare for work and all of those things. So I was at this place, and the reason why I just really wanted to, like, I just made up my mind that okay, I was tired of everything, was because somebody had just served me breakfast, hot breakfast, like say it was no more interested. Fine girl like me, they left me. But it just really made me realize that there was something I was not doing right. There was something I was not just getting, and this particular thing was offending God, because I've been in relationships and everything was just scattering, and I'm like, but anyways, thank God for coza. So that was how I just said, okay, I'm going to stay alone. I made up my mind that I was going to pray. I made up my mind that I was going to talk to God and tell God to send me my own man. I told God, it's my own that I want. So I don't want any other person to. It's my own. The one that, that when you created me, you said, okay, when you get to a certain age, this person is going to be your husband, all of this stuff. So that was how I started following, watching some certain videos on YouTube, and we'll talk about that subsequently. I'll be dropping videos, don't worry, let me not give you guys the full gist, but this was how everything started, and I just started being serious, like taking up my Christian life, like taking it serious, go to church. I had no excuse this time around not to be in church by 6, because I was staying in the main town now, and where I was staying was close to the church, not really close, quite a distance though. So I was always go to church instead of stream online and all of that, go to church on Sunday. But the devil just has a way of just coming to make you derail, so the devil came, and I kind of derailed, and I was really pained. Like, this experience was like one of the most painful situation I've had to be in my entire life, and I was really in pain. I was crying, and this particular kind of tears was tears that I would just be alone. And when I just remember that, oh, this is the situation that disobedience has brought me to, I can't tell anybody. I literally could not tell anybody. I would just cry. But I had to find my way back to God. I told God, okay, what is this thing? What is this one thing that I'm not really getting? And the devil is like using to like come into my life, like attack me and make me offend you, and I have to go through certain punishments, So all of these things joined together, like it was a terrible one. And that was how I prayed to God, and told him that I really just needed him. And on this very day, so that was how I told God that okay, I really need a helper. I really need someone who is going to help me, like, overcome or get out of this mess I have put myself in, out of disobedience. Because I knew I was the one that used my hand to put myself inside that situation. I was the one that used my hand. So, but I kept on praying to God, that He should have mercy on me, His grace should speak for me, and I just kept on praying. I would go to work, I'll put on a smiling face. Fine Valerie. So nobody really knew what I was going through. But I would come back home, I would pray. I think at that time I would even wake up. I wake up every 12 a.m. I have my alarm, so once it rings, I wake up, I start praying. My neighbors that time, they will say, this girl, let us rest. Bobo, with the one that was doing me, it's either I pray or that situation consumes me. But thank God for being God. He had mercy on me, and He heard my prayers. He really saw that okay, Valerie has learned her lessons. She has been learning lessons, but all those ones did not really do anything. But now I think she has learned her lessons. And He answered my prayers. Like one of my prayers, that was He should send me someone who was going to guide me and put me on track. And that was how God sent Pastor Ken to me. So Pastor Ken happens to be pastor and coordinator of the Ilorin campus, the coza Ilorin campus. And it's to be noted that I was a very simple person in church. I don't really keep friends. Anybody that knows me knows that I don't keep friends. Nobody really knows me in church. I was just a church goer, go to church, pray, hear the word, carry my bag, go back home. But Pastor Ken really, I got to meet Pastor Ken, or Pastor Ken really met me through a very miraculous way. Yeah, that's what I call it, a very miraculous way. Because if He didn't meet me through that way, I don't know how else He wants to know that a Valerie existed. So this was through my social media platform, and this is the reason why I have decided that whether you like it or not, people are watching, and that's why I am putting this video on all my social media platforms to reach as many people that God wants to use my story to help them realize that they can turn a new leaf. So I at the time I was going to coza, so I post declarations of the month on my social media page. That's my Instagram page. I post, okay, if our senior pastor Biodun Fatoyibo says this month is the month of this, so I post the graphics and all of that. I post some quotes from services and all of that. So that was how Pastor Ken saw me on social media. Who is this our coza member that is a good guy and is posting and sharing Christian stuff on our social media? And that was how Pastor Ken messaged me and said he needed to see me. And that was how I scheduled an appointment and met Pastor Ken. And meeting Pastor Ken, he just mentioned just that one thing that was, making my life look like it was upside down at the moment. And that was when I knew that my God is amazing. So we talked. I let him know the situation in which I was at the moment. I would be sharing that situation. So just stay connected. Follow me, notifications button on to be updated on all my videos. Yeah. So that was how we talked, and after I shared my my story and the mess in which disobedience had led me to, he really made me realize that there was just one thing that the devil using to to put me on a spot, or make it look like I was not moving forward in life, or make it look like I was experiencing setbacks. And what was that thing? I think I need to get my glasses right now. Hold on. Okay. How do I look? Alright, so after we discussed, Pastor Ken made me realize that there was just one sin that I was still living in. Okay, fine. I was no longer lying. I was no longer doing some certain things that I felt was sin to, which was actually sin. But there was just this one thing that I had not considered, that was a major sin, that was really holding me back. And what was this sin? Okay, sex. Yeah, sex. I was having sex with people, or guys, or a guy. Go check that out yourself. I was having sex with people I was not married with, and I had never really, considered that that aspect of my life to be something that would hinder my spiritual growth, my financial growth, my growth as a person. I never really considered that. And this was because we all claim to be in the 21st century, where having sex is a norm. My dear sister, my dear brother, having sex with someone who you are not married with is a terrible sin, and a sin that God does not accommodate. Like, he does not love it at all. And this is the reason why I said I'm going to be sharing things I'm learning, and this is one thing I have learned, and I decided to share it with you guys. And that was how I went back home, and I was like, oh my god, I was really sad. So I spoke to God. I told God that, okay, I want to be serious now. I've always told God I want to be serious, but we are serious now. We're serious now. With Pastor Ken, my mentor, and my dad. No. We're not going back. Backward never, forward ever. Yep. So that was how I said I was going to be serious with my life. It was a big struggle, honestly. It was a big struggle. It was a big struggle until recently, when something happened and I truly overcame that. Like, I didn't even feel the urge to. No. And that was when I was like, wow, you passed the test. Congratulations. And that was it. So I really made up my mind that God's way or no other way. And that's why I want you all to really consider coming to God. See, no matter what you've done, I don't want to even know what you have done. I told you that my sin, thank God for God. Thank God for God who has paid the price for us on the cross of Calvary. And where I'm coming from, like, when I just look back, I'm like, the devil just really wanted me to feel like I was living my best life. Meanwhile, I was just fooling myself. And just making things complicated for myself. But Well, we overcame. We are overcomers because we are the seed of Abraham. So let me remove these glasses. I've said what I want to say. I said it. Stay away from sin, guys. Stay away from sin. Any form of sin. I don't want to know. Lying, gossiping, having sex with somebody you are not married to. Oh, I really don't want to tell you what that has done to me. But right now I know better, and I want us to go through this journey together and start to reap the harvest together. Like, it's going to be an amazing one, and I really just don't want to have all of this information, have all of this new knowledge, and not share it out to um others, because I know so many young people like me who feel like, okay, this is norms. I have a boyfriend, so that's my duty as a girl. It's not your duty until he pays bride price. It's not your duty until he says, oh, okay, I'm ready to put the ring on your fingers. My finger is very ugly. I normally eat my nails. Bad habit. Alright, so that's it. I try my best to make this video short, but before we call it a day, I want us to follow my page, my account. Follow me on my account. Put on your notification buttons to get my post notifications of my post, and also follow my senior pastor, the Reverend Biodu Fatoyibo, and his wife, Pastor Modele Fatoyibo, and my dad, Pastor Ken Aburajan, and his lovely wife, Pastor Lara. I would be putting their handles, a link to their handles, on the caption, so it can be easy for you to follow them, and also follow Coza Global to stay connected. This church has really changed my life. This church has really made me understand the word, and I don't want to just keep all of these good things to myself. So we'll be sharing Christian quotes, we'll be sharing tips on how to be a better Christian, and also educational stuff, skills, life in general. We're in 21st century. Yes, you can serve God and not look boring. Yes, so you can serve God and still be tush tush tush, but it's really good to stay rooted in the word, and that will be all for this video. Thank you. Next video will be better. I'll get a microphone so we don't have to listen to the generator's noise. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you very much.